Hiya, how you doing? Me? I'm good, thank you. I guess I'm good, but I have to be honest, I'm in a bit of a mood. And it's been like that for a day or two. Now, although I make content and I put videos up on YouTube, I realize that every now and again, when it comes to me as a viewer who watches YouTube and other social media, I realize that I need to take a step back every now and again and take a break, because sometimes I see things and I hear things that annoy me. Now, the truth is that sometimes it depends on the mood that you're in or how you're feeling, that certain things might hit a certain way. And maybe I would hear the same thing one day and I would just laugh it off. And other times, like the other day, I'm listening to things and it is just annoying me. And I've come to the realization that people really need to leave people alone. If you're happy, if you're living your best life, if you feel good about yourself, if you think that you're amazing and beautiful, then go and do your thing. Be happy. But why do you feel the need to put other people down? Especially when it comes to overweight people. Why is it that they think that fat people have to be the brunt of every single joke? That they have to comment on other people's size? And it's the people that are doing it too. There are some people, ex-convicts, people that have been in jail for a long time. And now, to be honest, I believe that if you have committed a crime and you have done your time, once you come out, you're supposed to be given another opportunity. You can't pay for your crime for the rest of your life, apart from certain crimes. Yes, certain crimes I think that you should be banished from society forever. But the other crimes, you did it, okay. You've come out, you've done your time. You should have a fair chance and a fair opportunity to live your life. But back in the day when I was growing up, someone who did a stretch in jail, in prison because back in the UK, jails and prisons are pretty much synonymous, they're the same thing. And if you did like a long stretch, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years and onwards, when you came out, you were basically like the unclean. You were like the bottom of the barrel. You were like nobody wanted to associate themselves with you. Now, people are coming out of jail, living their best life, which is fine. They have their YouTube channels and they do what they want to do. Yet they think that they can laugh and point fingers at someone just because they're overweight. And other people too, people who, pretty people, beautiful people, they think because they won the lottery of looking amazing, that they think that they can turn around and turn their nose up at fat people. Now, when it comes to someone like me, I'm obviously an overweight woman. And I have to tell you the truth. I'm overweight for one simple reason, and that is that I like to eat well. Now, I don't eat chocolates and junk food all day and every day, no. But I do like to eat well. And I don't move enough. It's as simple as that. There's nothing amazing, nothing incredible. It's just as easy as that. I need to eat a little bit less and move a little bit more. But there are people who are overweight for so many different reasons. And I have met women who are overweight because of the trauma that they have been through. One woman I knew, to not be abused anymore, she ate to make herself unattractive. And it's something that she carried on into her adult life. So when there are those kind of people going through things like that, and they have to hear people just carrying on and banging on and saying stupid things like, you know what, if you're overweight, just eat less. Seriously? That is the gem that you can come up with? If you're overweight, just eat less? You know, all of us go through life with a struggle. My struggle isn't your struggle, yours isn't mine. But we all struggle. Now, if my struggle just happens to be one that you can see, how dare you? And what makes you think that you can come and point your finger at and laugh at and turn up your nose at my struggle while you're in your house in private going through yours? You think that's fair? And I'm sure that a lot of you are out there saying, well, you know what? It didn't come easy for me. I have a good shape because I work out every day. I get up off my ass every day and I go and work out. So if I can do it, you can do it. You know, those things sound great. So you think that we're all the same and that we all have that possibility? Now, if you have that willpower to do that, I think that's amazing. Go out and be great. Show everybody how wonderful you are. I don't have a problem with that. I really don't. Because if I had the body, I'd be walking around naked. They'd have to arrest me. Because everybody would be seeing my abs. And everybody would be seeing my backside. Okay? Honestly, they'd have to put me in jail if I had that body. So if you have that kind of a body, go for it. But don't be thinking that just because you were blessed with that willpower, that everybody else should have it too. You know, just because you look good doesn't make you a good person. For those of you who are new to my channel, and those of you who don't know, I sing. And one of the things that I used to do, one of the terrible things that I used to do as a singer, is that I used to smoke. Ooh, I used to smoke cigarettes like it was going out of fashion. And at first it wasn't so bad. But then I started working in television, and then I started writing songs in my own home studio. And when you work in TV, there's a lot of downtime. So you get bored and you don't know what to do, so you start smoking. And when I started recording and making albums and making music at home, of course, I'm in the comfort of my own home, and I started smoking. Sometimes I would light a cigarette with another cigarette. It was so bad. There was like a cloud in my house. It was like a crack then with this smoke in my house because of the continuous smoking. And I think it really hit me one day was that I live in Milan. I live in Italy. And I went to visit my baby sister in London. And she didn't smoke. And she had a young family. And it was a smoke-free zone. And I remember opening up my suitcase. And this woof of smoke just filled the whole of the room just from my suitcase. So that meant that my clothes, can you imagine how stinky my clothes must have been? And I didn't realize it, because once you're in it, when you're immersed in it, you can't really smell it, right? And that really hit me. And I remember like all my walls in my house are white. And I remember that they were turning yellow because of the smoke. And at one point I said to myself, why are you doing this? When you watch these things with overweight people, they will kind of like, you always see them sneak into the shops and go into like fast food places and eating food in their car. That's something that I personally have never done. But when it came to cigarettes, ooh, I couldn't be without them. If it came to a certain time of the evening and I fancied, I don't know, chocolate, it wouldn't even cross my mind to get into my car and go and buy it. Who, me? No, can't do that. No way. But when it came to cigarettes, if I didn't have my cigarettes, oh, that was a problem. So I used to jump in my car and drive to the airport because that was the only place open. And the airport from my house is about a half an hour drive to get there. And I used to go to the airport and buy the cigarettes, and not just a pack or two, but I used to buy those, I don't know how you say it in English, a stecker. There was about 10 or 20 packs in this bag of cigarettes. And these 20 packs, not cigarette, 20 packs, 10 or 20, I can't remember which, would last me for about 5 days. And that means literally just smoking one after the other. And I remember on the 31st of March, 2007, I said to myself, girl, are you crazy? Why are you doing this to yourself? You must be walking around and stinking like an ashtray. That's not a good look. And your voice, you know, you want to really take your music to a next level and you're smoking like that? No, you can't be doing that. So on the 31st of March, 2007, I remember I smoked my last cigarette. I had a shower. It was around midnight to cleanse everything, to start a new month afresh. And I have not touched another cigarette since. Cold turkey. Now, because I did that, would that give me the right to look at everybody else who's struggling with smoking and make them feel small or stupid because they can't stop? Or do I understand that it's a struggle? Now, because I was able to do it, I recognize and I'm grateful that I had that willpower to do it. Because I know that not everybody has that. So I'm not going to turn around and say, well, I was able to do it, so why can't you do it? Leave people alone. You know, there are people then will start laughing at somebody because they're overweight, and they will start talking about their body mass index, and they'll be talking about what they need to eat and the food they need to stay away from and all these kinds of thing. And it's all well and good. Someone who's overweight, rest assured, I assure you, I'm telling you, Angie Brown is telling you that someone who's overweight, they know they are. They happen to know that they're overweight, and they don't need you chiming in and telling them anything. If they want help from you, they will ask. Otherwise, just mind your own business. Go and live your life. You're beautiful. You're slim. You look great. I can see your abs. Your muscles are wonderful. Go and live your life. Why are you troubling other people as if the graveyard is just full of fat people? Is that what it is? The graveyard is just full of fatties? Is that it? Is that what you think? You know, life is so unpredictable. We don't know what's around the corner for us. So if you are blessed with something, enjoy it, because you don't know when it's going to be taken away. You know, when I was growing up, I was brought up in London, and I don't know if you know what the homes look like in London, but there's a row of houses, then there's like a road in the middle, and on the other side there are another row of houses, and that was the street that I grew up on. And so when I used to look through the front window, I could see the front of the other houses. And there were different families, and we would know some of these families, and we would hang out with some of these families. In one of these families, there was this guy. And this guy, at the time, was fine. All the women had a crush on this guy. Now, he was a little bit older than me, which made him even more attractive. But he was like my sister's age, 5 or 6 years older than me. And this guy was good looking. And like a lot of good looking people, he knew that he was good looking. And the more attractive you are, we all know that you have more options, because more people are going to like you. More people are going to seek you. And so he used to walk around, with his head up high, and he knew that the ladies liked him. And he had a little bit of an attitude and a little bit of a swagger that we all kind of drooled over. And of course, when he met you, he would kind of like give you that look as if to say, are you really worth my time? Because I'm hot. You know, the kind of look. I'm not hating, but that's what it was. One day we heard that he had been in an accident. And then we found out that he was fine and we were happy. He was fine, but the whole of his face had been burned. Ooh. And I remember back in the day that it's something that really it touched me. And I kind of realized back then, and I was young, just how unpredictable and fickle life can be. 1 minute you're riding high, you're the hottest person in the area, everybody wants you. And the next minute, his whole face is burnt. And of course, friends remained real friends, but the women looked at him differently. So I'm saying this to say, if you're a beautiful person, if you look good, if you have a great body, enjoy it, because you don't know what's coming around the corner. And it's the same thing with aging. And I know that when you're young, you don't think about getting old. We just don't. I didn't when I was younger. Of course I didn't. You're just enjoying the moment, enjoying your youth. And I say enjoy it. I have a daughter of 22 and I want her to live her life to the max. I want her to enjoy it. But the truth is that a lot of people, sometimes they see older people and they have no respect and no regard, and they don't seem to realize that for them, it's around the corner. If they're lucky, they get to my age. If they're lucky. How many people didn't see their 20s, their 30s, their 40s, 50s? So yes, all I'm saying is that we have our one life, which is ours. And we can fly high and we can do whatever it is that we want to do. Be happy, live your best life. But we don't have to feel superior. We don't have to turn up our nose, and we don't have to disrespect other people because we don't know what they're going through. We don't know their story. And so you opening your mouth and making comments and saying things about people, are you helping, do you think? I say not. So I think that we really need to be more respectful. And we really need to leave people alone. I have got to this age. I am closer to 60 than I am 50. I am coming in hot on 60. And I still have certain youthish looks. You know why? Because I mind my business. I don't trouble people. I don't turn up my nose at people. I keep myself to myself, my opinions to myself. I don't think I'm better than anybody. And so that's it. That's all I have to say, really. That now I'm just me talking to my camera. There's no one else around. And it's very easy to forget that when I put this video up, it has the potential to reach many people. And somebody might be listening to it that I could either make them smile or hurt their feelings. And sometimes I think people forget the power of social media and the power and all that it has. So yes, I have to say over and over again, and I hope that people hear me, leave people alone. Talk about yourself. Talk about your struggles. Talk about the things that you had to go through. Talk about the things that you've overcome. Talk about the things that you need to change. Talk about the things that you want to change. And leave people alone. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. And I'll see you the next time that I stop by. Ciao.